Hi, friends. My name is Kathleen Whitehead. I channel a group called the Aspects of Love. I also channel light language, and I'm a medium, and I do a few other things. Whatever is helpful and healing in the magical realm, I'm up for. I wanted to share some things that happened this week to me, with me, for me, and just wanted to chat about that. First thing that happened on the 17th, my dear brother passed away after being in hospice for a fairly short time. Before he passed, in the last several months, he and I got very close by talking about our metaphysical experiences. He was just coming into his abilities to connect with the other realms, and I have done it for a little bit. So we talked, and it was my honor to share these things with him. And then when he became ill, it's actually a long-standing illness that was time when he went into hospice, and we talked about his process and what he was going through. And it was my greatest honor to share that with him, to share the metaphysical experiences that he had, the visions and the visitations of our relatives and so forth. And then when he did pass, it hit me kind of hard. But one thing that we talked about a little bit beforehand, he said to me one time, he said, "Now, when I pass, you need to check on me." And I said, "Michael, no. When you pass, you'll be the one up there flying free without the encumbrance of a broken body. So you're going to check on me. That's what I'm going to rely on." Anyway, he had a few um, instances of visitations from our mother and grandmother, and it was an honor to share his process as he readied himself. I apologize for my emotion, but I am sure you can understand. Anyway, we had kind of decided that he would contact me after his death, which normally happens not immediately, but a few weeks um, later. But two of my brothers who have passed, including him, have contacted me immediately. And I want to share just a little bit about what happened. On the day after his death, I shared on Facebook in two places, on my personal page, which is full of relatives and friends and longtime friends and people who know me but don't know me. And then I shared also in a safe place, a metaphysical group that I can be completely myself. And it's kind of my safe haven when I want to talk about some of the things that have happened to me and the processes I'm going through. So the first thing that happened after he passed, after Michael passed was I really went through some really confusing emotions that I can't really explain. Questioning my own authenticity, for one thing, and questioning my capacity to love. And my entire goal in life is to be love and to be loving and to be authentic. So I was confused by those questions that happened immediately. So then I went to sleep and felt better the next morning. Incidentally, his passing happened uh, at 11:02 his time, which was an hour earlier. So my time, he passed the next day at 12:02 midnight. And so that was interesting, interesting to me. But back to my experiences. So I had these questions. The next morning I felt better. I wasn't burdened by those questions, but then there was an announcement that the Facebook group that I was in was going to be closed down in favor of another format that might cost a little money. And I sort of felt sad in a way that that Facebook page was going to close down because it was my safe haven, my place to be completely authentic and honest. So that's another part of the story. But after having posted the um, request in that group for prayers and support, because I was having a very human reaction, I was actually mourning, which for me is not something I'd allowed myself to do. But I did allow myself to fully mourn, and I'm still mourning. But I did allow myself to feel the feelings instead of being strong, instead of being uh, the one who consoles everyone else. I woke up needing to be consoled, but I wasn't there for me. But I did do some mourning, and I reached out, and then at 3 o'clock the next morning, I received a message from one of the people in the group that I'd never met, never corresponded with, didn't recognize the name. And her name was Isadella. And she said she had a very strong urge to reach out to me and send me love. And I thought, how very nice. That's why it's my safe haven. And and so the next morning I answered and I said, thank you so very much. That was very kind. It was probably my brother who urged you to uh, get in touch with me to send me love. And she said, well, probably so. And I said, maybe the two of you have shared a past life. And she said, that explains why he felt so familiar to me. And I chatted a little bit, just a little bit, and I said, maybe we should actually talk. And so we connected over Facebook Messenger and had a very lovely chat. And um, immediately she felt my brother and my mother, who were together, and she started giving me messages of encouragement, of love from my brother and my mother. And I just felt like this is his magic. He had been told before he left this earth plane, that he would be someone's guide. And it may well be this lady, it may be myself, it may be others. Anyway, he is surely and purely in his heaven, in his other realm, where he is even more magical than he even had any remembrance of being, and had any idea that he would hold such magic. He has been with me several times since he died on the 17th. In fact, last night I had to ask him to stop knocking on the walls in my bedroom, to stop making so much noise, because I needed to get some sleep. He actually did comply. And that really is part of my brother's magic that I just wanted to share with you. But the second part of this story is a lesson that I am trying to learn. Because that Facebook group that is such a safe haven for me is soon to be closed down. Many of those people in the group are sending each other friend requests, and I got a few, and I started thinking about that, and I was thinking, okay, but my normal Facebook page is not full of people who know me. It is not a safe haven for me. It is a place where I give information, I send love, I share little bits and pieces of myself, and I stay away from negative kinds of comments and things. And and I got to thinking, okay, if I accept these Facebook friendship requests, am I going to come out, if you will? Am I going to be my authentic self? And my question to myself is, why can I not be authentic with every single person? And I'm still asking that question of myself. I didn't grow up as this metaphysical person. I came into it late in life. Accepting this as myself has not been the easiest thing in the world. Telling people, sharing, because I have I have pushed the envelope many times. I started out by channeling energy and feeling where people might have pain in their body and putting my hands there. And then I started getting messages, mediumship type messages. Then I started doing readings and reading cards and feeling energies and connecting people. And then I started having experiences with mystical beings, Sasquatch, and just different mystical beings. And I realized that I am visited quite often by these spiritual mystical beings, and they know that I love them, and and they love me. And I've had many experiences that are kind of out there. And then the light language came into my being. And light language is a universal language. I consider it a universal language of love and healing and benevolence. It is a language heart to heart. It sounds like gibberish, and it's really unique. to hear it coming out of my mouth, because I don't understand it. I could not repeat it. I don't know what syllable is coming out next, but I just let it flow. And what happens is I feel that it's coming, and then it comes out, and I say that it bypasses my brain. So these are things that a lot of people don't know about me. And you do, because you've watched my videos. I have been channeling for a couple of years. It has evolved. It's much better and more authentic right now than it ever has been, and it keeps changing. But I'm questioning myself of why I can't be as authentic to people, everyone, as I want to be. It's easy enough to love everyone. It's easy enough to see the overall picture. And I do see the overall picture, and I see the benefits of things that are somewhat chaotic and believable and border on the absurd. I see them as changes that need to happen. And that's something that we may or may not discuss at another time, but I don't get involved in the dramas. So I am hoping that I can be fully authentic, but that is my question for myself right at the moment. Let me just say that I appreciate each and every person who might happen upon this video and who might listen to it, maybe like it, or subscribe based on it, or just feel something from it. I appreciate each and every one of you. And it is my honor to also love each and every one of you. And I am going to, at this point, channel some light language as my gift of love to you all. So if it's a little too weird for you, you might want to drop off of this video at this point. It'll take me a couple minutes or a minute or so to allow the light language to come through. It comes through my crown and then bypasses my brain and comes out my mouth. Just know that I love you. And I invite my brother Michael and my mother and my grandmother to also add their love to this transmission. Tenene a te e ata se ke te ata ne a petosikte ta na ne niamanato ya la dai ha aya a pai at te ka aya te nene aya la ya te sa e ata pa ka te shana a ne niamatoto e tapa ko te a se ke tia tama te ke etia ta ata ti Namate Sekitiata Mate. Thank you. I love you. And I hope that you will feel that.